Yes, hello, hello. Coaching Journey with Jola, my friends. Jola Pypno-Crapanzano here. After a little longer break than usually, welcome back to my show. And I have amazing guest for you guys to give you this kick in the butt right now. Because you know what? Enough of this complaining, enough of this guilt trips, enough of this feeling bad about the situation. We are here to sit in a saddle, buckle up, and let's go. And I got the perfect woman for you, Sabine Matharu from London, England. Hi, Sabine. How are you? Sabine?
I'm here. I was just trying to share the live stream and yeah, sorry. Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much for introducing me with so much energy. And yeah, you're right. I think it's about creating a bit of a bubble and keeping yourself inspired and positive. And so I'm here today to
Yes.
keep going. And
I said
yes,
about this kick in the butt because honestly, I just came off. By the way, that's very important to finish this introduction. So, Sabine, my friends, is a business and coaching consultant. She is a startup guru. She's the person who can really help you to pivot from perhaps you lost your regular stream of income. Perhaps you are struggling with your online business. She is your girl. She is the one that truly can help. And today interview, it's not just going to be like some fluff. We are going to deliver value that will blow your mind. Sabine will show you some incredible ideas how to future-proof your business. But before we get there, I would like to welcome our friends who joined us live on Facebook. I am actually going to see. Oh yeah, wonderful guys, welcome. How cool to have a few of you already. Please drop in the chat below where you joining us from, what's your names. Sabine is way better with checking and going with live because she's, like I said, guru with this stuff. So we hope to have some conversation. However, what I would like to start this conversation, as I usually try with my guests, Sabine, please tell me how you're doing these days in London. How is the situation there right now? How are you surviving this whole pandemic?
well, me personally, for me, there isn't much of a difference. Well, obviously, there's a lockdown as in other places as well. And what has changed, I mean, I've always been working for a long time now online, running my own two businesses. I'm also a double best-selling author, so I've been writing books with other amazing inspirational female entrepreneurs. So from that perspective, nothing really happened. Actually, I have more work now because now is the time when people come to me and they want to start their business, or they need to grow their business, or they have to move their business online and they don't have all the puzzle pieces together. So that's is more work now. On the other hand, I have more work because my children are at home and I'm doing homeschooling as a good mom, and they don't want to do the homeschooling with dad. So right, so that's extra pressure, and I believe perhaps a lot of women who have children may feel in a similar way. So I think this has to be, in a way, I guess, addressed and and shared, because it's I think it's normal, and we can say, well, it's not normal, but I think it's normal in a sense that we feel under pressure. We feel
Right,
more under pressure because
right.
there's more things to do.
Yeah, and I absolutely, what drawn me to you, by the way, me and Sabine came across a few months ago when she did a training for a group of authors of my best-selling book one that we published in March, right before the pandemic exploded. And Sabine, already being an experienced author, I was going to bring that up. She felt the calling of coming up with this concise 4 books to give women empowerment and ideas how to bring joy in life. And that therefore my share to bring the joy to honor Sabine, because her 2 books so far that she published, one was Rise and one was Bring Back Joy, right? So Sabine also was a trainer in our little group to show us how to have that visibility on social media, how to actually come across and you know, be able to share what we produced. And so she's phenomenal with that. So Sabine, please tell me, when was the first time in your life, because you are actually, you have one thing in common with me for sure, besides other entrepreneurial things, you also came from Austria to England. So in other words, you were born somewhere else and you live and produce and have your life in I was born in Poland. I jumped across the big pond to United States. So it's, we can actually understand you made that big, bold, brave move, right? As a young girl after college, you grabbed your 1,000 pounds and you said, let me conquer the world from London, right? So, but when was the first time, obviously it wasn't happening then, that you knew that you had that heart of service, that you wanted to help others?
So yeah, so I just want to say, I think on Facebook, I don't think people see me on the screen, so I'm not sure if they hear me. Maybe you can just check with the audience, because I've checked on your timeline, because
Okay.
it happens that happened to me before. Technically,
Yeah, let's check. I heard this happened yesterday to someone
yes.
too, not on my feed. Let's see. That would not be nice. That would not be very nice at all. Let me check. Guys, if you could drop us an information, if you can see Sabine, give us an answer in the chat. If you could see Sabine, or you just
Guys,
see.
if you could drop us an information,
Here we
if
go.
you can see Sabine.
Okay, Sabine, Roseanne says that she see both of us. So that would be the indication that we're good.
Which is
Okay.
good. Okay. I don't know why I couldn't see myself, because obviously I wanted to share a couple of slides
Yes,
in a minute, because
yes.
I want to do a mini training. So it's not about me telling you guys what I've done and all that. I think it's about you guys getting out like something really tangible as to how you can replicate what I've done. I mean, maybe, you know, nobody can replicate someone else's things, because everyone has their own voice and their own energy and their own way of doing things, but there are steps which I have taken which have given me more clarity. And this was the reason why I started my business. Actually, I didn't start a coaching business to help other startups. That wasn't the reason. I was a management consultant and a leadership coach, and I wanted to take my business online. And through doing this, I completely struggled, because there were so many things to be taken care of, the technology and this, that, and the other, and I was completely confused. That's how I started. And I believe that there was a lot of other entrepreneurs that kind of start off the same, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I feel paralyzed. I feel like nothing's working. You know, maybe spending hours and hours on YouTube watching videos and all that kind of stuff. And this is why I do what I do right now. And before I go and share the 9 steps I've taken, because that's something really tangible that you guys can actually take away today, which is almost like a roadmap as to do all these things. I think the fundamental thing is to believe in yourself, right? To step into the power and go and do stuff.
Yeah.
That's the fundamental thing.
And you guys, I wanna bring it up. I do not come across here to actually try to get, like, you know, training out of my guests. And Sabine has this heart of giving. So she literally offered, like, I would love to give the training. I don't want this to be just about me. And it's amazing. And I yet want to bring this back, how important it is to understand for you that in this time right now, people who are visible like herself and have this heart of giving, and therefore I am so I admire her so deeply, is because she's so passionate to help people. Like, I participated in a couple of her challenges, and it's like literally always give. What else can I do to help? And so thank you so much for that, Sabine. This is such a noble thing to do. I appreciate you very, very much.
Well, you're welcome. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, we give, because I think when we give, we also receive back. Like, for example, now you give back in terms of, you know, giving me a stage and being visible in with your audience, right? So yeah, I mean, I already had this, like, I've been working on this, like, from day one. When this pandemic started, I knew I needed to pivot what I was doing and adopt this slightly, and help others to adopt what they're doing, and also to give them a reassurance that they can thrive in their businesses rather than survive. Or
of your business is Rich for Greatness, because you truly believe that we all have that greatness in us, and we can to simply let it go out and like let it shine. And that's your area of genius, to really help women give that inner light and then like let them shine through, right? I love it so much.
exactly.
And so before I let you share your slides, please tell us a little bit what the idea of the two books that so far already happened, right? You have the books Rise and Joy. What the idea of the 4 series, beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous books, guys. It's something so special that I would love everyone to actually have an opportunity to read. We're going to drop in a chat below this interview, the links. You can check it out on Kindle or the regular paper versions.
I have a free download at the moment, so don't worry. I'm giving the books away online for free, so we can drop those in. So basically, yeah, so it almost seems to me like I've been awakened about 18 months ago, when I had the idea, woke up one morning and there were the ideas for the books. But I needed to go and write a book with 100 inspirational women to share their stories and give them that platform to actually have that voice, and also, you know, to leave that legacy and help them build their businesses. Because I believe a book isn't just a written word. I think we can actually make huge impact. We can become experts and touch other people's lives. And I know by now, the first book came out last year, and then the second one, Joy, came out just before everything happened here, just now in February. And I believe this was almost like the path to actually write these stories together with the 50 women and get those out for these times right now.
Yes.
to get those inspiration.
Yeah, especially the Joy book right now, that is so hard to go through this difficult, unprecedented time. You give people the how to find little joys every day, how to share them, how to look for them, how to really, you know,
Exactly.
go every single day. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And each story is so inspirational, you know, and it reminds me of our book one a little bit as well, because we came from that body, mind, and soul connection, how to live every day to the fullest, right? And here you are showing another aspect of this. So listen, people, listen, whoever watching this, just take advantage of all these unbelievable resources that are out there right now online. Sabine is throwing her gifts right now to be downloaded for free. You know, instead of watching, I mean, I'm not judging, but instead of watching sometimes maybe another season of something that you'll want to remember tomorrow, perhaps switch it up a little bit. Go and read something that really can change your life. All right. So Sabine created recently a challenge called Future-Proof Your Business. And actually, I am a part of this challenge as well. It's a phenomenal resource. Again, you can go through her site and you can still participate, right, Sabine? People could still go and participate in it. It's an unbelievable resource. You can go in and really go day by day. Check her. She actually does it with another wonderful lady, Emma Gosling, right? You guys teach so many things for the mindset and for the pure business strategies, how to go on with this in this hard time, but not always, just in regularly, how to future-proof your online business. So like I said, Sabine came up with this brilliant idea of sharing some thoughts on screen with you guys. So I will let her take over. I'm going to try to highlight you this way. Yeah, this way you will be able to share.
Okay, I will share my screen now. It's really quick. Quick 9 steps, and it gives you a really great overview. I hope you can see that. So
yes, I believe so.
Basically, yeah, so this is actually the 9 step step survival guide to future-proof your business for female entrepreneurs who actually want to thrive instead of survive in times of uncertainty. And so those are the things that you can do now. And it also it's a little bit busy, but bear with me, it's all on one page, which is always, it's like a roadmap. Okay, so there are 3 levels and then 9 steps. So if you look at the bottom 3 steps, that's all about pivoting and building that foundation. Then the middle 3 steps is about building on top of that again. And then the third, the highest level is about now really monetizing and turning your potential customers into sales. So this is really how we future-proof or help businesses within 6 weeks. So I think it's very powerful to say that we have this capability to actually help people to achieve all this in 6 weeks. And the starting point is on the bottom left-hand side, where you see that dark triangle there. And you know, and I guess there's always a time when people kind of come to a confusion, like, even if you already have started your business and you've been running your business, I think now is another confusion point, because we don't know what's happening in the world. The marketplace has changed. Should we be selling? Should we not be selling? What should we be selling at what price? And all that kind of stuff is probably going on right now. There may be also people that unfortunately have lost their jobs, and potentially it is a case that it's like, right, yes, I want to maybe apply for another job, but also perhaps I want to create a plan B, and I want to create an online business that I can work from home around my family perhaps. So this is for those that already have a business and need to pivot, but also for those that are starting from scratch. And it's almost like, if you're starting from scratch and you have this roadmap, and it's going to actually save you so much time and energy, and going around in circles for months and maybe even years trying to figure this out. Okay, because there is an order, a natural order as to how you should be doing what in your business. And this is why I've put these 9 steps together, because there's no point in having or trying to do a website if you're not clear who your ideal customer is, or you don't know what your offer is going to be. Okay, so this is the step-by-step process, and we always start with the purpose and the focus. And it's always good to actually go back and say, okay, what are your goals? Where am I right now? And where do I want to be in 3 months, in 6 months, in 12 months time? And that's not only as to the financial goals, but also, how do I want to run my business? How do I want to show up every day? How do I want to live my life? How do I want to spend my days? How many hours a day do I want to work? Who do I want to work with? So there's a lot of stuff that you want to be clear about. And this can be changing every few months, because we're always upgrading. So wherever you are in your business, just go into yourself. And I think this is the time for that reflection and just becoming really clear about that. And then step 2 is where I'm now working with Emma, who is a mindset coach. She knows a lot about money, money mindset as well, and the energy, and how to actually form some of these habits that will naturally actually progress you forward. And because quite often we come to a stage where it's like a change curve. I used to work in the corporate, as I said, and I was teaching a lot of leadership sort of capabilities and coaching a lot of people through them. In other words, mindsets when it came to some sort of change. But the change curve is like this, where when you start a exciting project, it's like you're really excited, your energy, your mood is like really up there, and you're on top of the world. You can't wait to actually start this.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you start taking a couple of steps and you realize, oh no, it's a bit harder than I thought it was, right? It's almost like, yeah, it's like starting your business. Oh, it's going to be so amazing. I'm not going to have to, not have a boss anymore. I can take holidays. All of a sudden, it's like, oh my gosh, it's harder, or I've not made any money this month, you know, 'cause it takes time, right?
Yeah.
And then you think, and at that time, you kind of need some sort of support or some system in place to help
Right.
coach you, or whatever it may be, some sort of habit to actually reinstill that, like, you can do this, and now do this step by step, and then you would move forward and you would excel, right?
Mhm.
So that's why we've put this step in place, to make sure you're not going to fall down, right? And it's
Yes.
important to have those habits formed, and almost like your brain in this case kind of rewired. But
Yeah.
when we check in
Mhm.
continuously with people, you know,
Yeah.
how are you feeling right now? Because
Yeah.
quite often they could fall down again and say, well, no, I'm not sure anymore because I had this feedback, or that didn't work, you know.
Yeah,
You gotta go,
everything
well,
starts with a mindset. Obviously, we, as a high performance coach and all the people out there who are actually coaching, they usually start with that piece, because once you got everything between your two ears in order, it's easier to go with anything you plan.
who is your customer avatar? And for those that already have a business, it's about the pivot. It's about revisiting that customer avatar.
Yes, that's so
I firmly
important.
believe
Yeah.
right now the market is actually, for light workers, for coaches, the markets is opening up, because this is the shift. This is the big shift that we're seeing. I believe a new era is starting to begin. And by the way, that's going to be my next book, called Shift, A New Era Begins. And I'm just talking to thought leaders who want to be included in that book. But that's essentially what we're talking about. Right now, there is a big shift, and there's going to be new people, entering into the marketplace. And we want to catch them as well. We want to know where they're feeling, and how to then come up with our core message, which is step 4. You have to have some sort of message, and it's so super handy anywhere you go. If you do right now, a lot of people doing online networking rather than going to some sort of event, but you need to know, when someone asks you what is it that you do, you want to have that sentence ready, right?
Yeah.
So I would say is, I help female entrepreneurs who want to thrive instead of survive in times of uncertainty, future-proof their business in 6 weeks, so that they can, create more sales and leads in less time.
Yes, and no, from my receiving point, I like I said, it wasn't a new material for me. I went through it briefly just to refresh myself on the business aspect of it. And I tell you guys, even the challenge that Sabine has online right now, it's amazing. It's like really step by step. Basically, what she just told you, she will teach you how to do that. So it's really cool, and it's like step by step process.
Exactly. Yeah, and then you end up with, step 5. This is where a lot of people are not taking enough care when it comes to actually having a signature solution in place. So that means you want to create a program that not only matches your message and your customer avatar, but it also will make you stand out from the rest of the crowd, and it will make it so super attractive for your ideal client to hop on and want to explore more. Like the signature solution, like I'm showing you here right now, this is my signature solution. Nobody else is offering it, these kind of 9 steps in this shape or form. This is my thing, and this is how I teach it, right? So what is it for you? How
Right.
can you create that roadmap and navigate through that?
Right.
Um,
And yeah, and one more time, like I want to really, really make it so for people to understand how crucial it is that to understand that to be flexible at this time, because what was working until about 6 weeks ago, it's not necessarily going to work now. And that's why you say that new client avatar, right? And maybe you need to pivot, and that's what's so important. That's why we're bringing it up, because, if you try to do the same thing and assume that you're going to get a different result, you are wrong. And especially now, we need to really start thinking, what is the next good step we need to take to move ourselves forward? And I'm so grateful that you're sharing that.
yeah. Okay, great. And now step 6 actually is where maybe a lot of entrepreneurs that don't quite have that in place, and this is where they have to shift very quickly and creating their online presence and their online assets. For those that have done maybe one-to-one sessions, or they worked face-to-face, obviously this is a big shift for them to actually think about, right, how do I do this online now? But with that, a big shift and a big advantage comes into play, because even say if you were, I think used an example last time, it was about say a physiotherapist who has a physical clinic. Of course he cannot, this is his main stream of income, but he may now all of a sudden think about, well, actually, what can I do now? My clinic's closed. I can't treat anyone for, I don't know how long.
Right.
What can I do now? If you have knowledge and if you have a solution that you can package up and somehow deliver online,
Yeah.
and it may not be, I'm going to treat you online, because that may not be the case, but it may be like how to prevent these physical symptoms or backaches.
Right.
So you could think about something like this,
Yeah,
to actually put something like
excellent
this.
example. Right now, lots of gym owners, for example, they came up with a brilliant idea. Why should people can come to my gym, but I have all this equipment. I can lease it. I can rent it to people, give them to their homes so they can use it, paying still for the service. And it's just this is the idea of being creative. How can you pivot? That's so very important.
Exactly. And with that pivot, there's more opportunity, because you can now all of a sudden sell this program, either firstly in more places, not just in your own town, so globally. B, you have an opportunity to perhaps even record this once, and then you can sell it multiple times without actually having to spend more time and energy or any money to actually provide the service. Or you could have hybrid, which is something that we do now with the 6 weeks boot camp, where we teach all these steps, is where we have some video, but then also some interaction on Zoom and coaching people through it, which I think is still very, very powerful, because people do kind of need
feedback. Yes.
feedback. And I guess you can reflect that in your pricing as well. So, if it's something that's completely self-study, obviously you would price that much lower.
Yes.
You could always offer someone to actually upgrade and come into a higher package, who actually want to have that interaction and that feedback. And that's always been very crucial for me, because as I said, I was doing a lot of DIY in my business and watching a lot of YouTube videos, but I didn't get anywhere, really. I mean, only when I started to work with very great coaches. I'm right now working with someone who does 7 figures a month. So it's incredible what they're actually doing, and they're absolute thought leaders, and I can actually then teach that to my clients again, right?
Sabine, I keep saying this like in my interviews with people, and like getting the same exact feedback from all the people, all amazing guests that I had in my program, that truly we walk the talk. Like, we do not just tell people, maybe you should like really look outside of the box, see what else is out there. Maybe someone could throw some light on for you, because people think, they got the pattern interrupt. They get a free course, a free something, and now I know what to do. I got that free session. I'm good now. I think I know what to do. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, because if that was that easy, this business wouldn't exist, right? Everybody would have just one class, one course, and we're good to go. We all need constant, like the personal development, business development. It's a never-ending story, but you can get so good at this with the right guidance.
With the right guidance, that is key, because there are people out there which I don't know, they do their videos in a Ferrari and by a swimming pool and all that hype. I don't quite like, I don't buy into that. And you know, and false scarcity and all that. So I'm quite a heart-centered person, and I say how it is, and I will go out my way and find the answers, you know. Um, so yeah, absolutely. I mean, people can do it themselves, of course, but they have to be self-motivated, self-starters, and I guess when you find a challenge, it's then a question, how do you overcome that challenge? And this is, I guess, where I always benefited from having at least a sounding board to say, hey, you know, I've created this program and I've created that program, or I have two power messages, which one's better, you know? So you actually get so much more out of that when you have someone to bounce it off.
Yeah, and it's like you say, it's not about that fluff, about that glitz, about that, oh look, it's a one-time deal. Just do that and you're gonna get it. Just be very careful who you listen to for advice, and you know, if something took you know, a long time to create, it looks like an overnight success, but no one will tell you about everything they went through, or you know.
It's an iceberg. Iceberg, you can only see the top,
Yeah,
a little bit, there's success, but there's lots behind it. And a
exactly.
lot of time you don't see what's below that, and they don't share with you what's below that. Yeah, and I was going to say, this is why I've got step 8, which is nurture and tweak, which is literally let's go back and see what's working, what's not working. A lot of programs actually don't do that, and continuously giving that feedback. So, and then obviously step 7 is actually to launch that plan, you know, and we're actually, there has to be some sort of launch. It could be a soft launch. That means like a continuous launch, and always advantages and disadvantages of doing that. And there's one that you can really go big and create like a big, I guess, event if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things when we come to sort of once we kind of test this stuff and we get to feedback, then it's time to say, right, let's really monetize and scale this, and let's the way we do this, and some people might actually disagree perhaps, is a good way is actually to run Facebook ads. And I know a lot of people saying, oh, I don't know how to, you know, get maximum out of ads. That this is it is an art. It is an art, and this is why people sometimes do ads without having all of these dots connected, and come to step 9 when they're ready for ads.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because what happens is, so there's two schools of thought. One is, yes, I'm going to promote my services organically, and I'm showing up every day, and I'm going to these and these groups, and I'm doing this networking and that and this and other, and write blogs and YouTube channels and all that. Now that's a lot of time, and is a long time. It takes a long time, right? Right. So the question is, how much money are you paying yourself per hour to create all these assets and to potentially get 1 or 2 or 3 clients from that? It's almost like you're throwing spaghetti at a wall,
Right.
and some of it sticks and some doesn't, because it's not targeted enough. And this is why we're actually going a step further once we've created something that really hangs together, and we want to actually use Facebook ads.
Yeah.
And it don't have to be expensive, it has to be the right way.
Yeah.
And this is why I show how can you get, for example, 10, 20,000 new audiences within 2 or 3 days, quite easily, with maybe 1 or 2p or cents, I don't know who's watching, clicks, or not clicks, views, video views, right? This is how we all started, and get to new people.
Yeah.
So this is how it all hangs together, and how you can really get something that is not only profitable but also sustainable. Because the thing is, if you don't have that machine working, then maybe this month you're making some great money, and next month we don't know where you're going to end up, or whether it's replicable. This is the thing. It has to be something that can be duplicated every single month, and it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger.
True, very true. And I love that idea that comes from your trainings, that you always emphasize to create all of this with ease. Don't feel that pressure that you have to do this and this and this and that. But there is an ease. If you start thinking about this with more like a light, airy, happy feeling, like the joy, right? Like just feel good about this. It's like you can create amazing things just would you do it with ease. And that's what I got attracted to listening to you. It's like I said, it's packed with knowledge. It's not fluff, but it's like that ease part, that's very, very important, because it's enough of feeling stressed. And guess what? You said you don't want to feel that kick in the butt, but I truly believe, that's my perspective. You know, we are 6 weeks into this right now. And I feel that sometimes it's important to hear that someone else's perspective. For example, yesterday, I was 8 hours in this amazing marathon of unbelievable human minds and leaders talking about stuff. And one thing came to mind, you know, like, you hear so much advice from everywhere. Right now, there's so much knowledge. You can do a degree for free online, right? But truly in your heart, you already know what you have to do. You already know. You know your next step. Are you doing this though? Therefore, you need that guidance that you show, or guidance that I provide in my business, to actually do these things. Because if you only know and you don't do it, you're still in the same dead stop where you were before, correct?
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Do you want to wait until this is over and then see what comes next? Or is it a good idea to future-proof your business and think of a way to put this stuff into place so that it can really fly? And people, it's not that there is no money out there. People still have money. It's just maybe they're now afraid somehow money is going to stop. I mean, the amount of money that's in the world is still there. It's just something that goes on in people's lives.
I actually believe that right now people spending money on things that they actually feel can move them forward. It's interesting. If you really want something, you will find the way, right? It's not like, oh, I don't have it. And I am a living proof of this. And I know a lot of people out there too. So if you really want something, you will get it. And that's almost like that law of attraction. I want it so badly, I'll find the way. That's the same thing. If you don't want it, there will be millions of reasons you find why can't you do that. And so for me, this is the time right now that we have the choice. We can make the decision that, you know what, I can come out at the other end of all this stronger, better, with more skills, and truly, you know, use this time. I cannot stress enough. Yes, have a grace, take time, don't go crazy, like take it with ease, like Sabine's signature word, take it with ease, but don't waste this precious time. We were given this on a silver platter from the universe, from Mother Nature, from God, whatever you want to call it, as a gift. Let's use it to our advantage. Sabine, that is a beautiful framework. I love it. And I wonder if you have some like a conclusion to this. What would you advise people right now who are perhaps the business startups that they know, okay, I don't have anything to go back. I don't know if I have something to go back. I need to start up. Where do they start? Obviously we can start with the point 1 on your graph here, but where is it what would you suggest? Like what do we do actually right now? Like what do the person that wants to start something, what do they do?
Well, I think they just have to make a decision to invest in themselves, I think, to actually take some action. And when I started, I made this decision fairly half-heartedly, and this is why it took me about 2 years longer than it should have to get somewhere. And so yeah, I mean, I guess if you're in a starting point and you can, you know, you decide to actually invest, to actually someone helping you through these steps, then that would be the wisest thing to do.
Yeah.
Because in a way, time is money, right? You
Right.
want to have this.
Yeah, I have often these conversations with my coaching clients that, you know, they want the change, they want it, but they like, oh, maybe I'll wait a little bit. So the
Well,
question
the
is, how
question is
long are you
always,
going to wait?
exactly, the question is, whatever coaching or whatever improvement, life improvement it is, where do you want to be in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months?
Yeah.
If I don't do anything right now, where will I be in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? If I did this now, what do I think where I will be? And believe in yourself that you can do this too. I think that's the other thing is people think, oh, this works for her or him, but it doesn't work for me. But that's just a myth. That's, you can make it work, and anyone can make it work if they follow the guidance and do the steps and are willing to be coachable and go for it, right? And show up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether it's building a business or
Anything,
improving your
right?
mental wellness or your physical wellness. It's about taking that decision and thinking, if I don't do this now, you know, how will I live my life? Will I be much happier, or will I have more finances? Yes or no? If the answer is no, then what are you waiting for? Why do you want to delay this another 3, 6, 12 months?
Yes, 100%. Well, Sabine, it was an amazing framework. So much knowledge, again, so much wisdom coming from you as
Yeah, and I
always.
mean, if you want to have the framework, I can drop a link where you can download it. Um, I'm also doing a little training around that as well. So I can just drop that link somewhere
That's
because I thought,
wonderful.
I
That's
appreciate it
wonderful.
was probably a lot.
If you could also share with my audience, you know, the social media handles, your website, if someone wants to find you. Obviously, the links will point to it too. But what is it? What's your website? It's a Reach for Greatness.
Yes, the best one to get stuff would be Future Proof Your Business, which is what it is there's another thing with websites. People think they have to have a website before they can actually have a business, but the website is just like a brochure. It doesn't I mean, the thing is, you only have a couple of seconds to actually capture someone's attention, and if they see a lot of buttons and there could be a lot of things and it's almost like overwhelm, or they completely forget why they go to your website in the first place, there is no clear direction, I'm not going to send them to my website. Yes, I have a website. It's reachforgreatness.co.uk. But if you want this framework and you want to learn something, then I've just posted the link in the chat.
Yeah. And you know what I also loved so much, and it comes across so strong, that to start, you just need to be few steps ahead of people that you're teaching, just few steps ahead, and you can already start teaching them. So if people are out there wondering, I don't know if I can start a new business, well, look at your life, what you're good at, like what you excel at, what's your area of genius, and there is guaranteed 100% people out there who need this, and you can package this and you can sell it and you can start on your own. And guess what, again, don't think you need to have a perfectly executed package to give already wrapped in golden paper with a beautiful bow on top. No, you need to start with this sort of interaction. There you go. I am starting, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to say it right now, loud and clear, inspired by my beautiful friend Sabine. I mentioned to you guys a few days ago, I am going to have a program that will be a sort of like a workshop, not what she's doing, deep business dive, but I get every single day questions about how you do this, how you do that. I will put this in a short little workshop and give people as a, you know, my gift where I'm good at. I'm going to share it. So I want to say thank you so very much. It is so important to have people like you who guide, who, you know, are this light in this little bit difficult, dark times. But having you in a circle of my virtual friends, I hope we get to meet one day. Sabine, thank you so much for your time.
You're
Stay
welcome.
safe and healthy, and we'll be in touch. And like I said, in the chat below, Sabine will drop the links to her generous gift of the book downloads, as well as this link to this virtual training. Thanks again.
Good. Thank you for
Bye
having me.
bye.
Bye.